始まったかなと始まったね。よっしょ、どうもこんにちは、あたりです。チキンポリスプレイ実況を始めていくよ。
Hello, Ursula dear. Wrong. That was
前回のところよりちょっと戻ってるな。
Say, what do you
飛ばすか。
do you have?
アルバート、そうね。
What's that, Boobo? If that's so.
なんかいろいろ見つけて、
That
でこれからそのイブン・ウェスラーっていうギャングのボスの弟、これがイブン・ウェスラーね。イブン・ウェスラー、これフィルマロイブン・ウェスラーの弟だったかな。弟のアルバートなんちゃらアルバート・タデウス・ウェスラー、こいつがいた精神病院に行こうっていうお話です。なんでそうなったかというと、そのこれだね、リストバンドを見つけたので行こうぜっていう話になりました。あれ、行き先がない。あれ、あ、一回戻るのか。そっかそっか。俺はとてつもないことに首を突っ込み、
What did I drag Marty into? Moreover, what did we pull the whole city into? This was going to be one of those cases
自分
that
の身はどう
changed
なるとか
things
もない。
forever.
どうせこの年老いたオンドリの羽をとっくに引っこ抜かれてる。だがマーティは違う。あいつは鳥としても警官としても俺のように終わらせるわけにはいかないから。
A secret twin brother? Sonny, I'm starting to feel like we're really in a... Yeah, but listen, Marty. What is it, Boss Bird? I think it's best if we go our separate way. What? Are you joking? I know you have a weak sense of humor, but there's... I'm not joking, Marty. Well, I certainly hope you are. Whatever comes next, you don't need to be mixed up in it. You have someone to go home to. Guys, damn it, Sonny. Can you hear yourself? What do you think? I endured all this to give up now? What do you take me for? No, I just want you to keep your career and your life intact, you moron. Just accept it, shake my hand, and go home. Your wife, Laura's waiting for you. One more word, Sonny, and I swear I'm gonna bash your beak in. I risked my life more than once tonight. You know why? No. Why? Because we're a team. We have been a team for almost a decade. I don't care what Blood Boil says or whatever's on a goddamn piece of paper. We're the chicken police, Sonny. And we always will be. I'm sorry. You're right. We're gonna go to that insane asylum and wrap this shit up fast and clean. Yeah, just like you said, even if it kills us. Thanks, Marty. Without you, I'd most likely already be sleeping the big sleep. Birds of a feather flock together, right? Like you say, partner. Let's drop this before you start crying on me, okay? I hope not. You almost just did. Cluck off, Marty. That's the spirit, the Sonny I know and hate.
よしよしよしよし。じゃあどうするんだろう。このまま外に出られないか。電話する。
What do you think, Marty? What? Stop fooling around, Marty. Well, I think we're in deep shit. Do you think he really murdered his brother?
彼は本当に弟を殺したのと思う。またなぜそれはナターシャと脅迫とどう関係するのか。何かがかけている。医療施設に行ってアルバート・ウェスについて分かることを調べてみよう。新しい場所だね。遺体が彼のものであるならば動機を突き止める必要がある。突き止めることができなくて彼がまだ生きているとすれば彼に直接聞く必要がある。
I think Ibn, Albert, and Natasha are the three key players in this case, and that all of it has something to do with the brothel.
And the fact that Natasha used to be a
Courtesan? Yeah, that too. Listen, Sonny, about Molly. Just forget it, Marty, okay? She's not part of my life anymore. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Forget it. Let's... Whatever you say, Boss Bird. So you think Natasha's really in danger? It could be. Or she could even be behind everything.
ナターシャどうなんだろうな。
No, you don't believe that. I'm not sure what I believe, Marty.
正直序盤に出てきてから今まで全く何もないからな。あの売春宿で何が起きた？何かが起きた。ザイワス？ザイワスじゃないか。ナターシャか。ナターシャ？あ、違うんだ。あ、今は違う。じゃあイーブンか。イーブンがレスラーの双子。まずは売春宿で何かが起きた。イブンはナターシャが初めからザイワスに従う密偵なのだと気づいた。ナターシャは昔娼婦として働いた。イブンはそれを隠そうとしていた。彼女は今はイブンの元にいるためザイワスはその事実を隠したがっていた。ナターシャはジップと隠れて交際しており、それは違うだろう。これかな。あ、これだ。で、イブンはそれを隠したがっていた。アイテム。ケチュバッジ、ナターシャの鍵。あ、ナターシャの鍵ってどこで手に入れたんだっけ。とりあえずこれどうだろう。あ、違うか。これ？あ、違う。あ、リストバンド？これ？これなの？その秘密のせいで誰かが犠牲を払った。はははは。ジップは死体を処理したが、死体のリストバンドは回収していた。イブン・ウェスラーの命令でジップはこの人を守るために何者かを殺害した。これ違うね。リストバンドがこの件の鍵であり、ジップがナターシャの秘密のために何者かを殺害した証拠でもある。いや、ジップが殺したんじゃないよな。これだよ。誰かがあの秘密のために命を失った。ジップは死体を隠したが、手がかり。ウェスラーの双子。あれは一体誰のものなのか。死体がかなり高い確率で、精神病院患者のアルバート・ウェスラーの事件解決した。移動できないね。場所。恐ろしく長い名前と恐ろしく長い歴史を持つ精神病院。写真を見た限りではチープなホラーが出てくる吸血コウモリの住む城のショックだ。これあれか。チラシ見なきゃいけないのか。
You're the best, Boobo. You've...
あ、ダメだ。マーティ？あ、訪ねる。
So where exactly is this place? A few hours drive from here, in the middle of nowhere.
車で6時間ぐらいついてる。
It's a creepy old mansion. You think it's a good idea to go there? What if it's a... I told you, you can still go back. Wouldn't you love that? No such luck, boss. If I get killed or locked up forever in an insane asylum, that's... Thanks, pal. I deserve that. You still trust her? I never trusted her, Marty. I mean, you believe her? I'm sure she was honestly afraid. People don't fake it that easy. But I can understand why she didn't tell us about her... Or how she knows Molly. Yeah, that too. And the death of Deborah complicated things even more.
デボラもね、なんで殺されちゃったのかわかんないしな。
She didn't seduce you. Ah, don't be stupid, Monty. My old ticker hasn't been beating for a long time. Yeah, all right, boss. So what do you think happened to the corpse? Probably been eaten. Horrible to think about, but even if half of what they say about the hive is true, starvation, riots, arson,
随分なところだな、やっぱり。
You're telling me.
巣箱。
Makes my feathers
昆
stand on
虫
end
族
when I think
が
about
なん
what
か
goes
主に
on
暮
in
らしてる
there.
らしくて。
And we pretend we don't know about it. As if Roachtown isn't even part of Clawville.
This won't end well. I'm afraid soon Clawville's gonna burn once.
Well, that's if another meat war doesn't break out first. Cause
Lovely prospects, eh?
either way, it was a damn clever move for Wessler to hide the body and
It's the only place no one will ever find it.
like the belly of a burning ship.
Oh, I think that was an intentional red herring.
Sounds about right. Who'd have thought? I believed that little rat.
There's a point when it's too late to change, Marty. His past caught up with him. Whatever he...
Not much.
Exactly. And that's the case with us, too. That's why I won't back down. Even though a voice in my head is screaming.
Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should.
よし。じゃあ、いけるのかいけないのか。まだいけないのか。まだなんか、あれしなきゃいけないのかな。あ、違う、世界観。ザ・ミートウォー、肉体戦。822年から849年に行われ、未曾有の被害をもたらした自然界史上最大規模の戦争である。最初期は2組の大陸、アールテラのみにかけられた紛争であったが、戦火はその後12の植民州にも広がり、その中にはクロービルの4種も全て含まれていた。対戦期を通して記録された死者数は8000から9000万匹。戦後には27の種族が絶滅扱いとなった。とんでもねえな。とんでもねえな。
Okay, so the picture is more or less clear. Ibn's got his brother killed because
弟になったアーシャが外相で働いていることがバレ、彼を殺す
Well,
命令を
that
出し
could
た
be。the case, but I believe the roots go deeper than that.
which we'd only learn if we talked to him. I mean, if the corpse isn't him, because then we'd need a medium.
Which would be exciting, but maybe it's enough if we ask the doctor who
That too, yeah. But where's the fun in that?
さて、これからどうする？
Thanks for everything.
電話する？特になんもないしな。あれ、どうしよ
It would.
It may be.
Sure.
Believe me.
どうしよう。外に出られないし。電話
A
する。
stack of paper.
You know,
We've met her.
maybe Susie's just a...
You've read.
Yeah.
I know.
まだなんかあるのか
Okay, so the picture is more...
違うな。
A closet that's.
あれ、どうすんだろう。これからどうすればいいんだこれからどうすればいいんだ。
Really?
I was.
Hey, wait a minute.
Exactly, Mom.
I'm surprised.
Well, maybe.
Heavy stuff.
なんかあんのか
It's a piece of a paint. Come to death. You're the best, boo. I haven't dusted you. Ironic, but ever since I've. Oh, man. Why did you.
さて、どうすればここから出られるんだろうか。間違えた。5 5 5 9 3 2音なし。どうしようあれ、行き詰まっちゃったなあ。電話番号書いてあるじゃん。555966。5 5 9 6 6 Oh.
called the Let There Be Peace Forever Mental Institution for Ill and Damaged Lives. What
長い
can I do for you, sir?
名前が長い
Well, I'd like to inquire about a patient who I believe is being treated at your institution. His name is Albert Wessler.
Albert
I'm
Wessler
sorry, sir, but I can't give out that information if you don't have the password given to relatives.
ああ
Unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm not a relative. I'm calling from the Clawville Police Department.
Oh, I see. In that case,
おいおいおいおいまた罠とかじゃねえのか
visit our
Thank you, miss. I guess I'll do that.
We'll welcome you with open arms, sir. Have yourself a beautiful, starlit night.
Oh, thanks.
See you soon.
So,
We have to go there.
the thought gives me goosebumps.
Chicken bumps aren't good enough for you?
Ha ha ha.
あれまだ行けないのか
It'd be better if I called Lewis. He'll open up a room for you to sleep in.
Whew, great idea.
あなるほど一回ちょっともう寝とこうってこと間違えたまた間違えたよ 5 5 5 9 3 2
Hey, Lewis, it's me again.
Oh, hello, Sonny. What's up?
Were you sleeping, pal?
Me? Oh, I wasn't. Anyway, I'm always at your...
Would you open up a room for Marty?
Naturally, Sonny.
Thanks,
ありが
Lewis.
とう
I'm not even gonna say it.
I will. You won't be much.
Yeah.
ということだ
Sorry for the mess, Marty.
Don't worry about it, Sonny.
Thanks.
あれあ移動できる精神病院に行けるぜああチャプター4 Farewell my
I slept like I
全
used to
然タイト
sleep
ル見てなかっ
years
た
ago. Like a miner or a soldier. Empty. Dead tired. Then I saw Tessa, my darling little daughter. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away. Then I saw Molly. But she
こ
wasn't
れがモリー
real.
か
Just the ghost of a memory. I'm here, I cried. But all I heard was laughter. Not hers. Who's there? Suddenly, she appeared. Natasha. Just stood there laughing. But her eyes were cold. Then she said something. Painted red. Painted red. Painted red. That was just a dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so.
誰住民
This guy seems strangely familiar.
You don't say. You've been treated here too.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious.
No.
Well,
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
MB
I'm
デイビ
sure
ス
of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a...
Oh, no. Poor devil.
何もお話はできないんだね
We should check in.
チェックイン ミランダ。
Of all the great
あ、でも首
wild
長。
ones.
Greetings, miss.
Is it really you?
Well,
Yes, it really is you. The chicken police.
有名だね。
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumey, that's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really, really, really excited. You know, I've read every book
めっちゃ
about
興奮
you
してん
and
ね。
your adventures, and
Indeed.
you can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a
話を
deep
聞け。
breath.
話を
Are
聞け、
you
ミランダ。
okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detective.
ありがたいね。こんなところにファンがいてくれるとは。さて、こっちかな。顔見えねえ。顔見えねえな。精神病のデスクに座っていた過度なまでに親身な看護婦。ミランダという名前の女でチキンポリスの大ファンだという。活力と希望とあらゆるものに満ちた女性。欠点があるとすれば俺たちの大ファンという点だ。はあ、はあはあ、尋ねようか。
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into
Dr.
a
Ketzer.
military hospital.
ドクター・ケ
Since
ツ。
then, we're relentlessly working on.
The place seems pretty empty. Do many people work here?
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff.
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
セスオス・ケツァルコアトル
So
医師。
who is
ケ
this
ツァルコア
Dr.
トル
Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the field.
Psycho... what?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
That's really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
どういう意味かしら。
Like, Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so. Now, what can you say about this, miss? Have you
Oh,
seen it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you
あ
come
ら
by
ら
it?
らら。見覚えがある。
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the chicken police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Miranda,
ほう。
this case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right,
ああ、やっ
I'll
ぱ
do
そう
it.
か。
Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
ほいなくなったっていう感じじゃない。動物ケツァルコアトルセスオスケツァルコアトル医師緑錦蛇オス冷淡で疎遠なプロフェッショナルどこか気味が悪いこの教授は実に多彩な動物だ科学者であり物書きであり哲学者でありその他諸々の肩書きを持っている なんか笑い声が聞こえますね。さてと
This picture.
Well, it must have been made by one of the patients, so...
It's the handiwork of our director. He's not only a scientist, but he's a great painter too.
随分な絵ですね。あれ、ここの病院って国王派？反国王派？国王派っぽい感じないだな。
That's right, Marty.
そうだよね。これが狐のヘクター3世で、まあ皆さん一緒にワイワイ暮らしてますみたいな感じだから、そういうことなんじゃないかな。
Dr. Quetzal will see you.
あ、おう、
He's waiting for you in his office. Up the
階
stairs,
段を上がっ
all
て
the
廊
way
下を
down.
直進し
What
て
a
最後のドア。
surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
知
Danger?
らないの？
What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared.
ああ、いなくなったのはやっぱ
And we're
まあまあま
really,
あそりゃ
really
まあそりゃそうか。
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly.
わ
Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell. And birds used to be our prey once upon a time.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you, gentlemen?
話を聞こうか。
Your office
Hobby.
is rather Puritan.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't...
I see. Hmm? Why do you have bars?
Because it's a room like all the others.
With the significant difference of...
It's not as big of a difference as you'd...
どういう意味だろう。まあいいや。話を聞こ
To
う。
be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Sessuous Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken.
From the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
we're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular
医
medical
学的にも
case.
奇妙なケー
Now,
ス。
that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk.
Not even if it's a matter of life and...
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
尋ねようか。アル
How
バ
long
ート・
was
レス
Albert a
ラー。
resident of the institution?
For quite some time,
最初の
his
症状は
first
10代の頃
symptoms
発症しました。う
surfaced
つ
in
病、
his
パニック発
teens.
作、
Depression.
統
Was he
合
brought here
失調症。
immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
おかしいよな。
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite...
あ、マジで。
What kind of a place is this exactly?
It used to be a mansion. Construction
Oh, zero
started
costa.
during the occupation in 622.
How long have you been working?
I've worked here for more than 30...
So if I count correctly,
That's almost...
what a lovely inheritance. Tell me, Doctor, do you
Madame
know...
Zaibas.
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her. But I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you to...
Is that...
As it turns out, she likes small net.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
よし、じゃあ質問だ。
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the
パズルの
strangest
中で
pieces
一番
of the...
変なピースに焦点を当てれば、アルバートはいつ病院の患者になったんですか？
So when did Albert become...
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4
4
years.
Could you describe that day?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were, or at least I knew one of them, Hobart West.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible grey ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence.
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never
ま
stopped
あなん
for
かパニ
a
ック発作とか
second.
統合失調
Was
症
he
とか言ってたから
afraid?
な。
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked...
Didn't you think of that as...
Of course I did. But who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Miss...
Of course. So
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment.
ほうほう。
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
これさっき聞いたな。
How did Albert relate to you?
Albert was immensely sophisticated and polite. So much so that his true emotion...
And that's why you thought of him as an exciting case.
That's right, Mr. Featherland. I see you're starting to get to know me in some way.
I'm just doing my job, Doctor.
You and me both.
Are you telling me Albert had...
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating
特に嵐の日
personality.
嵐の日か。
Sometimes
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution.
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland.
Nando.
Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last
最後に
time
出て行った後は
when
二
he
度と帰ってき
failed
ません
to
で
come
した
back.
か。それはいつ頃だろう。
Wetzel's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that.
細かいことへのこだわり。細かいことへのこだわり。なるほど。小さいところをつっついていってこのなんだろうアルバート・ウェスラーの人物像の解像度を上げるっていう感じか。
When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler
Oh.
appeared and demanded we let...
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say
帰りた
That
くなかっ
was
たのか。
unusual for him.
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship. He was working on a
絵を
painting.
描いていた。
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Oh, exactly. So you already knew about that.
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
え、どこで見たっけ？細かいことへのこだわりか。ここから攻めていく
So
か。
Albert left on many occasions to continue.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his
More dangerous.
より危険。
Albert was hurting himself. And on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed
Do you think the painting caused it?
not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
というと絵画のモデルが
Its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed. Right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last
なるほ
time.
ど
What exactly happened?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
お寿司と
What happened to him?
I
Alec.
don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't ba-
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's
そんなひどい状態だった
tongue
の？
was torn out.
舌がちぎられて
I don't know
切り取られて
exactly.
片目は
And
な
he
く
was
なっていた
So you're saying Albert was brought back?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of...
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel.
混乱中そこをつかせてもらう。これはおおよそ見当がつくから別にいいんだよな。
You didn't believe Albert had an accident. Is that...
Of course not. I'm not naive. I knew immediately that Albert had been severely battered, and I was sure it had been his...
Well, we don't know that, Dr. Quetzal.
Would you defend a monster?
Take it easy, Doc. One of the most critical elements of my job is not to make assumptions.
You're absolutely right, Mr.
It's all right. Happens to...
めっちゃ下がったわ。
Pull yourself together, Doctor.
Mind your...
Sorry, Doc.
How could I not be? I'm not a monster.
So, what was he like?
Even more silent than ever. No surprise, I suppose.
口だけでなく
He was
心も
not-
魂も閉ざしてしまう。
He never painted anything again. And his seizures completely stopped.
ほうほうほうほう。
That didn't get me far. What happened then? How did...
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in...
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely...
Do you think Hobart could have...
It's horrible to say it.
How did he disappear in the end?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland.
Did anyone see any...
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch.
Oh, well, I'm glad I...
We understand, Doctor.
ありがとう。わあ、焦点の精度低っ。もう一回やってみるか。
So, what kind...
途中までは結構割と良かったよな。
How did that... Are you... Quetzal's not only very... When... So Albert... Dr. Quetzal...
この辺から間違ってたのか。
Maybe it's not easy for you to...
I'm not that kind of doctor, Mr. Featherland. But even I could determine his tongue was either cut out...
But there's no doubt it wasn't an accident.
I don't believe it.
I totally agree. Concentrate.
I'm sure it was Hobart. He ordered his men to mute.
But why would he...
Maybe Albert saw something he could accidentally reveal.
To whom? The four walls? A couple of crazies? You?
To anyone, Mr. Featherland.
I don't think it's that simple, Doctor.
You're welcome.
What happened then?
A few weeks later,
What did Hobart...
he didn't do
これ一緒かな。
nothing.
あ、90% だって。微妙だね。まあいいや。
That's quite shocking.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand...
Then the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it. Not for a second.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out, and his tongue torn out, he'd...
We believe you, Doctor.
I'd rather call it his room.
Thanks to the Wessler name.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert...
I hope you don't mind if...
That's not...
Well, that's...
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around.
Well, I smell... paint? Ink? Plaster?
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I'm on it, Boss Bird.
さて、何があるかな。君の悪い癖が。
No way! Is this some kind of puzzle?
あ、パズル？
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern.
なんだろう、線を引く。あ、線を引く。
No way.
I don't.
どういう意味だろう。線を引く。どういう意味なんだろうな。この赤いあれはなんかあんのか。ちょっといろいろ調べてみるか。もうちょっと調べてみよう。そしたらなんかわかるかも。
Look at that.
アルバートの手紙。お、
Scribbles.
書類の束。
Just like the trouble.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of orc in it.
If you say so, boss.
あとはレスラー系の写真。
And looking at it, 2 men and 1 woman. Nothing
2匹の男と1匹の女。いいことはない
of
な。
all the wild ones, Marty, please.
Just use your imagination, old.
あとはないか。と
Identical twins.
手紙。なんだって。
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly. What do you make of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane, I
ナ
don't
タ
know.
ーシャに首ったけだったのかな。
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
What do you mean?
どういう意味。
Everything will be revealed soon.
Why do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
If I'm right, this will flip the whole case upside down.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty
え、
conclusions.
どういうこと。
Marty.
どういうことだ。
You're killing me. So, what now?
Back to Clawville, where we can finally put all the pieces.
You're driving me.
あれ、あの部屋のあれは何だったんだろうな。アルバート・レスラーが、なんとなくわかる気がする。アルバートはナタシャに惚れ込んだ。命をかけるほどそれが原因で死んだのだろうか。動物、ここが開いてない、開いてないな。アルバートの兄イブンはナターシャの絵を描かせるために弟を数回精神病から連れてした。もしかするとこれが動機かもしれない。イブンの方はちょっと待って。急に英語になった。イブンモストライクリーキルドヒズオウンブラザーアルバート・ウェスラーメイドジップディスポーズオブザボディThis seems most plausible right now. Anyway. なるほどね。大体分かったわ。さてと、これは更新されてないな。ナターシャどうなっちゃったんだろうな。死んでなきゃいいけどな。お、なんかあるぞ。 黒ビルの建国以降、同国の征服が込められたということを一度だけ、ハラール帝国が植民地を除く黒ビル全域を支配のため、622年から677年まで同国を統治していた。この年代は半世紀占領時代と呼ばれ、最終的にはスウォラストとブラボスラビラの支援によって黒ビルの主権は取り戻されることになった。移動するか。わーおわーおずいぶんマークされてるね。かくろかくろ今だ。かくろ撃つぞ。
Concentrate, Marty, for the God's sake. Drive like you're not a fucking lunatic. Shut up and shoot, you big feather.
こっち死にそうだぞ。やばいやばいやばいやばい。死んじゃうよ。死んじゃうよ。死んでしまった。死んでしまった。
Concentrate, Marty, for the God's sake. Can you drive like you're not a fucking lunatic? Shut up and shoot, you big feather.
どこ狙えばいいんだこれ。わお。死んじゃう、死んじゃうよ。死んじゃう、死んじゃうよ。あ、よし、オッケーオッケー。いや、危なかったね。
Too close for my taste. And it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is desperate. He knows if we survive, he's done for. Come on, what did you work out? Please. Sure. Let's put the picture together, piece by piece.
マジでわからんのだが。
Let's start from the beginning. So, we got a case.
まず事件の始まりからだ。事件の始まりどっちだろう。イブンから行くか。あ、違うんだ。え、なんでティムもナターシャとナターシャの秘密か。あ、違う。ウェスラーの双子。あれ、あ、違う。こっちか。ナターシャと事件の始まりってどういう意味だろう。ナターシャがアルバートに、あ、違うのか。絵を描かされていた。これでいいのか。まず事件の始まりからだ。ナターシャは俺たちにあの絵画を見つけてほしがっていた。ちげえ。はい。で、違う。違う。なんかもうちょっとなんかヒントくれてもいいんじゃない。手当たり次第やれば当たるからいいんだけどさ。あの絵画なら俺たちの手がかりになったはずだ。アルバート・ウェスラーの隠れ家への手がかり。アルバート・ウェスラーの死体への手がかり。イブン・アルバートのウェスラー兄弟へと至る手がかり。でもこ れだよな。アルバートはナターシャの肖像画を描いたってことは何度も彼女と会っていたはずだ。手がかり。死に至る愛。それによってアルバートはナターシャに惚れた。あ、え、そういうこと？
fateful night, he killed his brother. He could take his place in secret.
そういうことか。
So what happens now?
The inevitable, Marty. We're going to the Wessler mansion to confront Ibn with the facts.
You mean Albert, right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course,
Now, do you think she knew about it?
something stinks, Marty. The whole case
Eh?
is too
マジか。
Too many coincidences, right?
Well, after 10 years, you did learn something, didn't you?
9.
You're right.
Huh.
What?
You just laughed, Sonny.
What? No, I snorted.
No, you laughed.
I'll just leave it, Marty.
I'll be telling this to my grandkids.
All right, pal, that's enough.
Okay. So, Albert fell madly in love with Natasha and decided to
ああ、
have her
そう
for
よね。
himself.
そうなんだよ
And
ね
his。best chance was to trade places with Ibn Wessler.
そうなのか。
That's
そうなの
why
か。
the torn out tongue.
Yeah, Ibn couldn't squeal if he wanted to.
What a diabolical plan.
More like insane.
Why the messages then? Why the threats? Albert got what he wanted. He could have got away with it.
I'm not a psychologist, Marty. It's a seriously injured mind and a
天使と悪魔がい
split
たんだな。
personality.
So the messages were written by one of his personalities.
Something like that, Marty. But we can only learn the whole truth.
You're right. So,
We're going, Marty, to finally finish what...
well, if there's anything...
You're right, Marty. It's time.
あれ、なんかもうラスボスですみたいな雰囲気出た。
Hey, Lewis. You weren't awake.
I've never been this excited, Sonny. What is it?
You.
What?
Just now, you did.
Oh, I must be.
And it's...
So, thanks again.
Come on, boys. Don't even mention it. It is me who.
Maybe...
Hey, Sonny.
Pardon.
Nothing. Nothing.
じゃあなんか他の場所に行ってあれができるのか。あ、でも全然なんか何もできねえ。尋ねる。
I just realized. Ibn at the
サー
Tsar
リクラ
Club.
ブにいたイブ。
Yes, Marty. Albert's been Ibn
So
for
they're
a
not-
long time now. Do you remember what Natasha
え
said
ナタ
about
ーシャ
him?
が彼について何て言ったの？
That he's been acting strange recently.
Exactly. Like he's not himself anymore.
It was almost hitting us in the face, huh?
Don't blame yourself, Marty. We couldn't have figured that out just by ourselves.
Well, it's how we make our living, Sonny. And I'm sure we'll have plenty more twists.
Who knows, Marty? It's not a...
Yeah, right.
そういうことか。もう初めっからイ
You
ブンはい
think
な
the
かったん
asylum
だ
was
ね。
in on it? I mean, covering up Albert's disappearance.
You know that reptiles give me the creeps. One of them even set fire to that ship.
He seemed like a patient to me. Seriously,
Yeah. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the...
Are you still talking about the doctor?
Good question.
So, what's the plan? We shove the letter in our theory in his face and see what happens?
Something like that, Marty. I think our presence will be enough.
I really hope you're right, Boss Bird.
We have no other choice.
Do you think it's a love triangle? I mean, could Natasha love Albert as well?
Good question, Marty. But I don't think so. When I first spoke to Natasha, she told me she loved Ibn in her own way.
In her own way, huh? And could she love two rats in her...
Maybe. Maybe she even suspected the truth, but didn't dare admit it, even to herself.
So, what do you think, now that it's clearer?
I don't know, Marty, but I believe Natasha didn't mean to be...
I'm not as sure of that as you are, boss. But
I think Natasha was very much aware that wherever she goes, disaster...
really? You don't say.
これもう本当にラストだ
Someone
な。
You mean me, right?
who can even read mind?
Maybe you're right, Marty.
行くか。行けるんだろう。ウェスラー邸。
The sun was shining, and all the ducks were in a row. I felt ready. The pieces of the grand puzzle were laid out on the table. I just needed to piece them all together. A revealing glance or a careless word, and I'd have the answer. I knew we were in the right place. I knew it was nearly over. Was Natasha really just a victim? Or did she know everything? Was she controlling the puppets from behind the curtain?
正直なところもうナターシャも生きてないんじゃねえかって思ってるけど。
Go straight ahead. What could possibly go wrong? Here I am, Natasha. I hope you're waiting for me.
Furry gods. I knew he was rich, but wow.
Half the city is in his hands, Marty, and half the Council of 12.
I think we'll catch a big fish today.
Don't count your chickens. I'm sure Wessler's expecting us, and Natasha too, I hope.
You hope?
If I'm right, she could be our only chance of survival.
Lovely prospects, huh?
I've had worse.
Really?
よし、じゃあ行こう。あ、出たよ。
Not so fast, chickens.
出た
Please
ね。
excuse my partner. We didn't mean to be rude. It's just his terrible habits. As you.
先に行っていいんですか
Look what the cat dragged.
Funny, I don't recognize...
Well, maybe if they had some guns with them? Tommy?
Oh yeah, now I
何回
remember.
か襲われた
The
や
two suckers in the luxury van you shot...
Exactly.
What are you doing here, chickens? Would you like us to finish what we started?
We'd love to have fun with you boys, but we need to talk to your boss. And while we're at it, the lady of the house is also expected.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so horny.
In that case, I guess there's no reason for us to waste your precious time. Isn't that right, Gabriel? Get the hell out of our sight while there are still feathers on your skin, chickens.
Easy, pal. We're not even here anymore.
あばよ。
This must lead to Wessler and Natasha's suite.
Well, let's get the big guns out and kick...
No need for that, Marty. We'll wait until they invite us in.
Oh, my trigger finger's itching, Sonny.
Relax, Marty.
Yeah, just don't let it...
銃の準備だけしとくか。よし。
I haven't dusted you off in a while, partner.
必要になりそうだ。じゃあ。アルバートがイブン・ウェスラーだった。狂ったあの男は自分の兄と入れ替わり、あらゆる手がかりを抹消しようとしている。今奴を捕まえなければ手遅れになるかもしれない。ここ開かないんだ。誰なの？多分あれなんだろうな。寄り道してないからなんだろうな。
Ah, what a pleasant surprise. Hello, Olivia. Sweetie.
Get lost.
What did you say, ma'am?
Turn around and get the hell out of here now. If you want to make it out with feathers intact.
Come on, Olivia. Don't worry about us. We know what we're doing.
Martin.
Huh?
Don't you get it? You have to get out of here or you'll be in danger, and also her.
Do you mean Natasha? Please calm down, miss. We have to talk to Mr. Wessler and Miss Katsenko.
まだ
You
ナター
really
シャ生
don't
きてる。
understand, do you?
あ、来た。
What do they not
Sexy.
understand, Olivia? So, what is it exactly that our guests don't understand?
I was trying to tell the detectives that Mr. Wessler's very tired and doesn't welcome guests this early. He gets rather irate if he's being disturbed at this hour.
I'm sure Mr. Featherland and Mr. McChicken can wait here while Ibn refreshes himself. I'll entertain them until then.
Thank you, Miss, Katsenko.
Please, Sonny, I thought we've already discussed this. Call me Natasha.
Please, Natasha, can we talk to you in private?
Martin?
It's all right, Olivia. These gentlemen are my friends.
Yes, Miss Katsenko.
いいのかい、お話を聞いて。壁はいいや。お、
This
建築物。
place is...
いいや。
The truth is, Ibn isn't really in a good shape today, gentlemen. He's rather furious. Are you sure this can't wait?
You commissioned us, Natasha, and we barely escaped with our combs intact.
So you know who left the threats?
Oh, we know much more than that, Natasha. We even know where you used to work. We talked to Madame Zavas.
Wild gods.
Why didn't you tell us?
Do you think it's easy for a woman to talk about such things, that she used to be an escort?
Along with Molly?
So you know.
Yeah, I know, Natasha. I also know all of this was a trap.
Believe me, I tried to handle things the least painfully I could. You weren't even supposed to know.
A lot shouldn't have happened. Poor Deborah shouldn't have had to die.
Dear sweet Deborah,
Cold, stiff Deborah.
please don't say that.
A price worth paying?
You cannot think I had anything to do with that. You
ほ
just
う、関わっ
cannot.
てない。
I don't know, Natasha.
Please, Sonny, tell me, what is going on?
ナターシャもあんまりこう、
You
ピン
have
とき
to
てないの
know,
か。
right?
Please.
Excuse me for making you wait, detectives. I'm having a rough morning after a long night.
Is that so? Our night was also kinda long.
いろいろありましたね。縛られたり、燃える船の中に閉じ込められたり。
I was just telling the gentlemen that you were exhausted, my dear, and they should come back another time. I'll escort them out.
Oh, honey, no need for that. My door's always open to the legendary chicken police.
Then this way, please.
You just stay here, my darling. I'm sure our conversation will bore you to death. Please, go and refresh yourself, or tell Olivia to go make some coffee.
Yes, dear. Whatever you like.
Please, follow me, gents.
Lead on, Wessler. So long, sweetheart.
Goodbye.
知られたくはないんだな。で、どっち？あっち？おー。おー。
This painting, I'm not surprised.
But the corner is missing.
You're right, Sonny.
Well, yeah, this painting's unfortunately damaged. I don't know where the missing piece could be.
You don't know? Well, if you're interested, we know exactly where it is.
Really?
Really? It's here with us.
An insignificant little piece, isn't it? But there's an exciting cat scratch on it.
More like a rat scratch, because it's a monogram.
A.W.
AW。
That's...
Albert Wessler. He's a great painter. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Enough. Out with it already. What are you trying to say? I have no
おこ
time
だ
for
ね。
your childish
おこだ
charades.
ね。
Easy, Wessler. We'll get to that in a bit.
むしろここまで行ったら感づいてくれてもいいんじゃないですか？ちぎれてるね。
It's unbelievable.
あとはなんかないかな。
This estate is right.
いや。あ、なんかあるぞ。お、なんだ Farewell from Falls。なんか手に入れた。見れない。
It's a piece of a painting. Judging.
あ、ちょっと。あ、出たわね。場所。あ、これが世界の端っこのどこかに位置する高級邸宅。億万長者のギャングならどうしても必要な代物らしい。世界観更新はされてない。まあなんか随分取り逃してるな。なるほどね。はははは、まあ、寄り道してないからね、それはしょうがない。お、あ、ちょっと待って。
Do you keep a revolver in your bedroom?
銃があるぞ。
Yeah, a bad habit. One who has a lot to...
I agree.
Yeah, would you like a drink? This is a rather rare brandy. It lifts the spirits, if I may be so...
Really? Tempting, but I need to keep a clear head, Mr. Wessler.
Yeah, I've heard you don't despise a good vintage.
And I've heard you don't despise murder, Wessler. By the way, you've heard right. But everything has its place and time. Drinks, guns, dead bodies, and the truth.
Yeah, I see you're in a poetic mood as well.
ドキドキしちゃう
More
ね。
like prophetic.
And that's not a good sign.
Yeah, are you trying to intimidate me?
No, that's not how we do business. We're gentlemen.
I really hope so.
刑事やぞ。刑事やぞ。こっちは。さてお話ししようか。
So, what do you want to know? I've heard you've been through a rather eventful few days.
Oh, you have rather good informants.
Yeah, that's true. I should tell you, I see and hear everything that happens in the city. And you are exceptionally resilient. No offense.
None taken. But tell me, are we gonna flatter each other for a long time, or are we finally done with the courting?
Straight to the point. I like it. Yeah, so let's continue like that, shall we? What do you want?
ちょっと
How dare you
怒ら
intrude
ない。
upon me in my own house?
Oh, forgive us. Our moral compass has been confused a little bit after someone tried to kill us several times in the last 48 hours. With fire, with machine guns. I could go on.
And while we're at it, you could answer some of our questions. If you've nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear.
And then we'll just leave you alone.
All right? I'll go along with your childish little game. I would have had a long and tedious day ahead of me
これで
anyway.
質問ができるようになるのかな。尋ねる。間違えた。
I have no idea what she sees in you. But Natasha's been seriously worried about you.
Yeah, she, really worries more than usual, but it's understandable.
Disgusting, all right. Do you know why that word exactly? Why did they write that specific word everywhere?
Since you've been to the Nile, I guess you know the answer to your question.
Didn't it bother you, Wessler? What Natasha used to do? Surely it must have upset you.
Why? Did it upset you when you discovered your wife did the same thing?
What did you just say?
ああ、怒っ
What
た
did you。think, chicken? That I didn't know? Yeah, don't make me laugh. I know about everyone who ever set
うわ、
foot in
やめ
that
てくれ
place.。
や
I
めてく
can even
れ。
tell you who Molly's...
You son of...
Sonny, don't.
Yes, detective?
Not yet.
You're right, Marty. It's not worth it.
You're funny, you know that?
About the painting.
Yeah. My brother Albert made it. He's a great talent, but, still, he's a rather troubled individual.
Such self-criticism.
ああ、言っちゃった
What。did you say?
My partner means that you and your brother are very much alike. Identical twins, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. But, what does that have to do with the painting?
We'll get to that. Don't worry, Mr. Wessler. So Albert made the painting at your request, is that right? And the one that's in Natasha's room in the Tsar, too.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not a crime in itself. This picture, it's rather strange.
Why do you think so? It's just me, Natasha, and my brother.
The photo doesn't tell much in itself, yes. But if you already have the right information, suddenly it starts to talk.
Really?
He fell in love with her, didn't he?
Who'd you mean?
Albert, of course. He fell in love with Natasha. All those sessions while he was painting the pictures. Were you there every time?
お、
You mean, me?
You.
No, I mean, while Albert was painting, yeah, but I wasn't there all the time. Albert was there, all along.
And do you think he could have fallen in love with Natasha? That's why he escaped? What do you think happened to him? Who tore out his tongue?
Eh, I have no idea.
Did Natasha know about what happened to your brother?
No, of course not.
Do you love beautiful things, Wessler?
Why do you ask that? Yeah, of course.
You were afraid of losing her, weren't you? To him.
Stop. Enough. If you want to ask something, ask clearly. Don't play with me. You understand?
We're just doing our job.
Then do it clearly. And quickly. Yeah, I'm really starting to lose my patience.
We visited Albert's cell and found something he seems to have forgotten to take with him in his great hurry.
That's a big mistake.
A classic, even.
What the hell are you babbling about?
This is Albert Wessler's love letter to Natasha,
More like a confession.
in which he tells her he's capable of doing anything for her, even the most horrible things.
Yeah, this letter doesn't prove anything at all. Albert is mad. Insane. He's not, normal. No one would believe his word, don't you understand?
But they believe yours, right? Because you're not Albert Wessler. You're Hobart Ibn Wessler, aren't you? How good it feels to be in his skin.
おう。
How dare you?
Just tell him, Sonny. I'm getting tired of this.
僕もいつまでこれ続くのかなと
You're
思って
just
た
a
わ。
cheap fake, Albert. You couldn't follow in your brother's footsteps even if you wanted to. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get Natasha either. Am I right?
What? What did you just say?
She hates you, doesn't she? She doesn't know. She doesn't understand why. But she hates you. It's instinctive.
Yeah, what do you know? What could you possibly know about suffering and loneliness and the darkness? What could you know about hate, huh?
これで最後か。おお。
Albert is an imposter. He's not who he says he is, and might not even know who he really is. I have to concentrate on this first.
失敗したら殺されんの？何を考えていたんですか、アルバートさん。その芝居をいつまで続けるつもりだったんですか？
What were you thinking, Albert? How long?
Until the end of my life, if needs. Yeah, I cared about nothing except for her to love me. Not for who Ibn was, but for who I am.
Why did you think that would happen? Everybody noticed the change.
Yeah, I knew it would be hard, Santino. But I also knew animals see what they want to see. I didn't have to behave like Ibn. They only had to believe I'm him.
れはちょっとあれだね。上はちょっと危険かな。パーンっていきそうだ
Why
な。
did you decide to take your brother's place?
なぜ兄の言い分と入れ替えようと思ったんです？
As you're curious, from the moment I laid eyes on Natasha for the first time, but I had to convince myself that this was the only way.
You've never talked about your feelings for Natasha with your brother.
Are you insane? Yeah, Ibn would have had me killed immediately, and no one would ever know.
So instead, you've done the same thing, haven't you?
Comfortable. Do you think all of this was just some kind of cruel game for me? I had to destroy the person I loved and respected the most.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, you know, there's only a thin, fragile membrane between love and hate. If anything touches it, it tears immediately.
You can analyze me until the sun goes down, Wessler. But
Yeah, evasive answer. So I'm right.
ふう。なぜイブンを半殺しにした？汚い手を使って。
why did you have to mutilate Ibn?
That's an interesting question, you see, but the answer is exceptionally simple. No matter how strange it is for you to understand, I'll...
Weird way of showing your love, Albert.
はい。
You can't understand that. He was my everything, the only one who was close to me. Until I met Natasha.
She took your brother's place pretty quickly, didn't she? There's not much room in your heart, as I see it.
Yeah, you're understanding the situation, Detective, but you know, very well it's not that simple. Ibn was my brother. I loved him despite all of his flaws and foul, petty lies. That's why I couldn't kill him.
Not immediately, you mean?
Unfortunately, tearing out his tongue wasn't enough. Yeah, I must admit I've underestimated him.
And poking out his eye?
Oh, that was just an accident, Mr. Featherland.
Just an accident? You're a dirty, clucking son of a vermin, Albert.
Please, don't be vulgar, Sonny. It's too dangerous in your current situation, and doesn't even suit you.
.話の持っていき方がちょっとわからないからどれ選んでもダメなような気がしてきた。
So you feel you're two people at the same time, even now?
Does it sound crazy? Maybe it is. But Ibn lives inside me. Sometimes he's even stronger than Albert ever was.
Do you think you can avoid the gas chamber with this, Albert?
I don't have to avoid anything, Sonny. You and your friend, will never leave this place. It's better if you start getting used to the thought.
You're not the cold-blooded killer you'd like to think you are.
Yeah, do you think so? Try me, Detective.
.どれだろう。まだ死にたくないよ。
What would you have done if Natasha found out? Kill her, too?
You know what? Maybe yeah. Maybe I would have ended myself too.
Narcissistic pricks like you never commit suicide, Albert.
Why?
Yeah. Are you sure you want to insult someone?
あ、めっちゃ下がった。
That was your plan.
Why? Isn't it good enough of a plan, Mr. Featherland? It was perfect.
Which is?
Ibn's ghost.
Is what?
Please don't take it literally, Mr. Chicken. I'm not talking about spirits. When Ibn died, I didn't just take his place, but...
So you mean Ibn's here with us, even?
He was here all along. Don't you get it? I am Hobart Ibn Wessler.
I must get serious. because looking at the gun in Wessler's trembling hand, I'm afraid I don't have much time. Albert is a cruel psychopath.
殺されちゃうよ。
When was the moment you decided to kill him, Albert?
When I drew the last stroke on that fatal painting, Mr. Featherland. When I glanced at it for the last time, and then at Natasha, who was shivering under the weight of my gaze.
You simply fell in love with her?
Not in the slightest, Mr. Featherland. Love is, just chemistry. What I felt was more than that.
Everybody thinks that, Albert, but we all feel the same.
No, Mr. Featherland. Not at all. At that moment, I knew what I was gonna do. I knew that the world was coming to an end if I didn't do it. It implodes on itself and ceases to exist.
Let him have her, right? You simply wanted her for yourself.
ただただそれなんだ
I
よな。
wanted her for ourselves, Sonny. I was him by then. He just didn't know it yet.
やべえこと言い出したぞ。残虐性を利用できるかもしれない
What
って
did
どうい
you
うこと
do
だ
that made Ibn get you locked up?
That's a sharp-tongued detective.
It just came to me, you know? Where did it all start?
Jealousy.
Oh, come on, Albert. Alone, locked up at the end of the world, while your brother is one of the most influential figures of Clawville, driving an
Yeah, Albert was jealous of Ibn. Maybe he still is. But I understand why he did it.
What does that mean, exactly?
Albert did our mother wrong. Poor old Mom. She never heard her fly. But Albert couldn't take that she was praising his brother all the time while Albert was just an unsuccessful, foolish, poor painter.
こういうこと
What did you do to her, Albert?
Albert killed her. It looked like an accident, but Ibn knew it wasn't. That was the last straw. Albert had to be locked up, and he agreed.
So
But he
4年
never
前か
forgot who did this to him either. Did he?
Ibn was really good to him. Visited him every week. Did everything he could. Even introduced
And that was his downfall.
both of them, Sonny. And yours, too.
あら
When did you decide that we too have to die?
Can I be honest? I didn't want to hurt you, even after what you've done at the club, after interrogating Natasha and me so cruelly. I didn't...
Until we found Deborah.
I didn't even know about you finding her until the phone call from the Nile. Then it all became clear.
You remove anyone if they happen to cross your path, don't you? Without batting an eye.
Ibn had always been like that. Albert the opposite, so don't think I wasn't struggling, but, eventually, yeah. Courage won,
イブン
every
のこと
time.
もアルバートのこともなんか他人事
You
のように
mean
話すじゃん
fear?
Yeah. What do you know about these concepts, detective? You spent your life chasing petty nobodies until you turned into one of them.
I may be a nobody, Mr. Wessler, but at least I know who and what I am. I'm Santino Featherland. Tell me, can you still tell who you really are? Albert, Ibn, both of them? Neither.
Enough, Santino. Enough games. Ask your last question before I get tired of you and pull the trigger.
I'm very close to breaking him, but if I'm too hard on him, I could quickly be signing my death warrant. It's... Natasha was kind to you, right? Too kind.
Natasha was, simply amazing, gentle, kind, lively, but still so, distant.
You're telling me.
It's like she was from another world. A world where everything's full of charm and grace and everything's fragile and delicate. Do you understand?
I think I do, yes.
I knew Albert's touch would harm her. Albert is rough. Albert can't keep such a delicate thing in his arms.
That's why you had to become Ibn, am I right?
I didn't take Ibn's place, Mr. Featherland. I became one with him, can't you see? It's the only way I could comprehend and accept the miracle that was Natasha.
Was?
I think I've corrupted her. She's not that gentle and pure creature I painted on the canvas anymore. I ruined her. She became
何を言ってるか
rotten
分かん
under
な
my
くなってき
hands.
た。
Maybe it's not too late, Albert. Tell her the truth and end this.
No. You can't understand this. She can't either. I killed Ibn, but he also killed me, can't you see? We're nothing without each other.
You can't be two people at the same time, Albert. Nobody can bear the weight of the sins of two souls.
Ibn loved her. I admired her. Ibn was crazy about her. I've been crazy for a long time. Ibn idolized her, and I hated her. And if there's anything more blind, more devoted, more...
You know you're not going to be able to go through with it, right? That you won't be able to carry the weight. But you still did it. Why?
Yeah, if I didn't kill him and become one with him, Albert would have died, Mr. Featherland.
And the threats? Which one of you was that? Albert or Ibn? Who wrote them? And which one of you killed Deborah?
In my world, Ibn and I are inseparable. Just like love and hate are one and the same. And I hate Natasha so much that I could destroy myself along with her, just so she would die with me.
More than life itself.
You see? We're not so different after all.
You and I have nothing in common, Wessler. You know why?
Why, Mr. Featherland?
Because if I were in your shoes, I would have pulled the trigger a long time.
Goodbye, Sonny.
So long. Now.
40%。ずいぶん錆びついてますね。全部聞いてたのか。
So, you heard everything.
I heard everything.
I'm sorry you had to find out like this.
And thank you. If it weren't for you...
Yes, both of you would be dead, I know. But believe me, I still thought carefully before firing.
About who to target?
You know, I truly loved Ibn.
But this man wasn't him. You felt it, didn't you?
Maybe I even knew it. I don't know. But I still can't believe it.
It won't be easy to process for any of us.
I'm sorry I dragged you into this. And regarding Molly...
The cops. But how? How do they know?
I have no idea, Marty.
Do not look at me. I did not call them.
Olivia?
Don't worry, Natasha. They won't lay a finger on you. I promise.
Please, Sonny. You don't need to worry about me.
I don't want to be rude, Sonny, but I'm more worried about us than her. Hello, boss.
どうも。
Hello, boys.
Before you say anything, we can explain.
No need for that, Santino. Monica already told me everything.
Oh.
Monica?
Hey, boys. What were you thinking? That I would just let you get killed without saying goodbye?
Thanks, Mon. Should we say we owe you one?
借りしかねえな。
You know already, boys.
サンディさんよ。
Shoes are my weakness.
はーい、わかりましたよ。
Of all that's furry, we don't want to hear that.
Yes, boss.
Don't believe you'll get away with it so easily. I want a report on my desk from both of you with all the details. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It'll all make sense, believe us. Right after I figure out myself what the hell just happened.
What Monty's trying to tell you is that we had good reason to investigate outside the law. But We're sorry.
What happened to you, Sonny? You're sorry? Did you hit your head?
Why does everybody keep asking that?
Why indeed?
So, can we go now, boss? Without getting handcuffed?
Don't give me ideas, Santino.
Thanks, boss.
これでいろいろお話がまとまってしまったのかな。
I think I should mourn, right?
You should.
But I don't know what to feel anymore, Sonny.
I understand, Natasha. You know, if you need...
Yes, I know where to find you.
See you around.
Ma'am?
Goodbye, detectives.
How the hell did you find your way here, Tim? Always where the trouble is.
Sometimes I think you're the criminal mastermind behind all the dark dealings in this city.
I wish.
I wish too, because then we could legally throw you in jail.
I love your sense of humor, Sonny.
I wasn't joking.
So, where did you get the scoop?
Are you kidding me? The whole city's talking about you. You've left quite the mess behind.
That I admit.
Well, it's a miracle that all of the city's smear sheet journalists aren't here already.
Clock off, Tim.
Hey!
あとは特にないかな。モニカさん、
Thanks
ありが
again,
とうござい
Mon.
ます。
If not for you, those fur heads would have put holes in us.
No wonder, since you put holes in their boss.
Well, actually, that wasn't us.
いや、
Then
まあ
who
まあ
was
まあ
it?
Natasha.
Really?
あ、言っちゃうんだ。
I wouldn't have thought it of her. It's a
まあ
pleasant
でも、
surprise.
この顛末を記した報告書を出すんで、それを見てい
It
ただけ
was
れ
for
ば。
us too, believe me.
What? Are you...
No, sir.
Then stop pecking.
Yes, sir.
はーい。じゃあ行きましょう。行きましょうってどこに？どこも行くところがない。どこも行くところがないな。アルバートが全てを明らかにした後、ギリギリのタイミングでナタシャが俺たちの命を救ってくれた。これでひとまずは終わり。一件落着だ。地下に死、本当に終わりと呼べるのか。どういう意味だ？言ってみろ。車がその辺に。あおっと。どうも。
You're a good boy, Bosco. Nice.
You know, folks, somebody's gotta take care of the real police work while you're tearing up the city.
Sorry for the mess, Bosco, but you know us.
Yeah.
How did you catch them? After the gunshot, I was sure these two would show up.
They were already in cuffs before then,
Michael.
Sonny. We had the house surrounded.
Hey, a second longer and it would have been us.
That's your story.
Cluck you sideways, boss.
Hey, Olivia.
Marty?
I just,
For what exactly?
for trying to save us.
I didn't do it only for you, believe me. I loved my job while I had it. Now my employee is dead.
I didn't even think of that.
Of course you didn't.
Can I do anything to help?
I think I'll manage. I always do.
Gentlemen,
Gentlemen?
we're honestly very sorry.
Yeah, this peacefully.
For myself, I'm glad, gentlemen. I would have sincerely regretted it if we had to shoot both of you, but unfortunately, that seemed to be... Don't think we'll be behind bars for long, chickens.
Oh, look at that. He can talk.
In complex sentences, too.
Yeah, or something like that.
Amazing.
あれ、中に入れないな。あれ、どうしよう。戻る。あ、誰かいる。フィルマ。フィルマロー。
just driving around.
Trying to feed your grandpa. So, Was it a case?
What can I say, Sonny?
Did someone hire you to follow us?
I just had to keep an eye on you and not get involved. That's all. I admit there were a couple...
But you managed somehow, right?
A professional's a professional, Mike.
Yeah, thanks. So you won't tell us who hired you, whatever we do?
Unfortunately, I can't.
You and your promises.
Some people still...
You're a real piece of guano. You know that?
Of course. I've learned everything.
Huh. One of
Wessler's ancestors were poor cobblers.
I wonder how chivalry is compatible with
Ibn was planning
when his twin...
Yeah.
どっかに行ってるのかこれ。
So, here they are, ladies and gentlemen. The chicken police. In the...
Damn it, Tim. Drop it and cluck off.
Oh, no, boys. This time, you deserve it.
What the cluck did you
どういう
say,
ことで
boss?
しょうか。
Stand up straight and try to look like someone who's glad to be
はい
alive.
はいはい。
Yes, sir. We'll try.
Ooh, attention chicken police. Say cheese.
終わった。いやー面白かったね。こんな感じのお話なのか。いやーなんていうかハードボイルドって感じだな。ボイスが英語で翻訳した日本語が追っていくのがすごく大変だった。そんな感想しか出てこんのかいってあれだけど、でもナターシャの歌が聞こえるよ。独特のこのなんだろう言い回しというか、このなんていうんだろう、よく洋画なんかでよく出てくる洒落た言い回しっていうんですかね、ああいうのがなかなかこうスパイスとして効いてて、すごくこうテキスト読みながら面白いなと思いながら聞いてましたね。まあ、もちろんその日本人である僕にちょっと馴染みがあるかというと馴染みはなかったんですけども、この事件があってでいろんな人々が出てきて、それぞれがこうなんだろう動物の顔を持っているっていう、ちょっとそのただ一点だけそのなんだろう嘘が混じっている、それこそチキンポリスでね、いろんな人間の顔が動物になっているっていうこの一点の嘘が混じってるだけで結構やっぱりなんかビジュアルとしてもそうだし面白くできるんだなっていうのがすごく興味深かったというか、そこが一点やっぱり興味深かったっていう感じかな。例えば日本でもさ、なんだろうことわざとか使うときにやっぱり動物を使ったりするじゃん。そういうところが多分アメリカとかそういうところでも多分あるんだろうね。これ作ったのは多分アメリカじゃないと思うんだけど、だからなんかこううまく落とし込んでるというか、翻訳もすごく良かったんじゃないかなと思う。翻訳って絶対難しいよなこれな。続く？まさかそんなバカな。
Natasha.
You were expecting me, weren't you?
I wouldn't say that, but I'm not surprised.
I just wanted to talk to you.
About what exactly?
You know very well.
What do you think, Natasha? Why didn't she tell me?
Because she loved you.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you, she may have never left the place. Perhaps she'd still be there.
Ah, sheep shit.
We used to dream about falling in love with a nice man who comes and saves us someday. A knight in shining armor. You know, like in the fairy tales.
それが
And
イ
how
ブン
did
だっ
that
たっ
work
て
out
こ
for
と？
you?
She fell in love with a good guy. I didn't. I envy her.
I'm not that good guy, Natasha. But if it's any consolation, she could have found him. Maybe she's living with him right now, somewhere on the other side of the world.
Well, goodbye, Sonny.
So long, sweetheart. Hey, Natasha, you have a light? I've been trying to smoke this sorry-ass cig all day. It's driving me crazy.
Maybe you don't really need it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe.
Huh? 最後の最後でなんか隠しコマンドみたいなものがカットシーン。あ、これなんかあるな。どこまで行けば随分なところで随分なところであれした。
Before you say anything, no need. Monica.
Hey,
Hey. No. Yes. What?
これもうあれだね。電話できないわ。電話するとこ残ってないわ。じゃあ。ニューゲームから始めるか。
Ah, crap. My op.
これで5、5、2、2、3。あ、なんもなかった。今じゃなかったのかな。しかるべきタイミングでかけなきゃいけなかったのかな。いつかわからんが。この状態でいやー出てこないか。どっかで何かあったんだろうな。まあしょうがねえか。チキンポリスがいっぱいあったんだね。そんなに見つけられなかったか。あーでも寄り道してないからね。あとは自分でちょっと寄り道しとくわ。というわけで、チキンポリスペイントイットレッド、プレイ実況でした。お付き合いいただきましてありがとうございました。それじゃあまた次のゲーム実況でよろしくお願いします。バイバイ。